Hi Cancer, welcome to your February 2018 tarot forecast. Now I'm going to warn you, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, and I really wanted to get these videos out because it's almost halfway through the month. I wanted to get these out before the eclipse on the 15th. I'm starting with the water signs because y'all have a very gentle kind of healing energy to you, and I'm hoping that that will be an okay energy for me to connect with when I'm not feeling well. I probably won't be filming Leo today. I feel like I need a little bit more energy and dynamism if I'm going to be doing that. All right, so hi. How's it going? Chariot, that's you in reverse. First card's out, along with the Eight of Swords. Okay. So Cancer, overall for February, you can expect a ridiculous enabling of your ability to manifest. Like y'all are in full manifestation mode right now in two different ways. So the first is that right now you have the ability to be making bank, like money, and often in ways that you're not actively striving for. Like this is a month where unexpected wealth might be coming in for you, unexpected money, unexpected resources, not necessarily things. It could be things that you earned, but it could also just be things you fell into. Not necessarily inheritance, but this is just a time for you right now to really be, I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. This is a time for you right now to be open and receptive to money and resources. It doesn't need to just be cash, right? I mean, like crazy right now. If y'all have been feeling like you need a little bit of extra cash, get your head right now. Get those powers of attraction up, because you can manifest the hell out of money in February 2018, Cancer. You really can. The other way in which, pardon me, I'm readjusting. The other way in which you have the ability to manifest right now is because of this eclipse, you have, and you've been going through a lot of stuff with the eclipses, right? The moon is your ruling celestial body, and we just had some lunar eclipses. We're about to have the solar eclipse. So, you know, you're feeling particularly activated. I think that sort of unconscious, subconscious piece of you that is ruled by the moon is probably for the last month or so has really been, I mean, probably longer because we've been going through eclipses for the last several years, but you know, I think that you've been feeling particularly activated. Maybe things from the past are coming up for you. Maybe old wounds that needed to be healed. I mean, even more than normal that's coming up for you, I think, right now. And also, you know, I did mention in last month's video that Saturn is now transiting your 7th house of relationships. And so I think that could be at play here as well, as far as healing old wounds goes, or bringing up things from the past to kind of deal with them and move on. So a lot of stuff in partnership you might be dealing with right now, whether that's romantic or business. You know, I think the big thing for y'all is that this month of February, like I said, in addition to manifesting some great material wealth, death in reverse, sorry, there's a glare, you really have the capacity to close doors on some things that needed to be healed. And I don't mean close doors as in ignore. I mean close doors as in like you healed it and now you can move on, okay? Now you can leave that room and walk down the hall to the next room. I mean, really, Cancer, such a powerful time for y'all to be doing that, especially from the 15th of February moving forward. And I'll pull a few more. So right now we have the Chariot in reverse down, we have Death in reverse, we have cards flying all over the place, we have the Lovers, we have the Eight of Swords. So already, like right here, we have, out of 4 cards, 75% of them are major arcana. So, I mean, that should just show you right there, like this is a time where you were dealing with real stuff, you know? This isn't just a day by day sort of reading, okay? This is real hero's journey stuff that you're delving into right now. I'm gonna pull a few more. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little hoarse or more quiet than normal. You partied too hard during Mardi Gras. Girl, it doesn't take much for me. I only went to 2 parades and I'm done. Today's actually Mardi Gras proper down here in New Orleans, and I will not be partaking today because I'm not feeling well and I have so many projects I need to be working on, and I'd rather be doing readings for y'all than getting drunk in the streets. That's the truth. That's the truth, Cancer. All right. Oh my goodness. I'll be right back. Here I go. I mean, again, right here. So we have the World coming out. Wow. And the Wheel of Fortune, you guys. I mean, this reading is no joke. So right here, actually, I'm gonna take a break right here and then we'll shuffle a little bit more. So the Chariot in reverse, okay. So the Chariot in the upright, this is a card of triumph and victory. It's also the card of Cancer. So I think for y'all, you know, there's a lot of material. This isn't necessarily a card of material wealth, but it is a card of material triumph. So this is a card representing someone. If you look at this guy, he is someone who, through the force of his own will, through his own innate physical dynamic power, he has conquered the material world around him, okay? Which is not the same thing as necessarily conquering the world, right? Okay? Like, this is a card of full spiritual, mental, physical integration. This is not. He's still about 14 cards behind her, right? But he does represent the sort of mastery of a material space. So in the reverse position, coming out as one of your very first cards in this reading, I see that as meaning a couple of different things, but most strongly what that says to me is that you are, you know, you're in a place right now where maybe you're doing all right financially or materially, in no small part because I do think that February is the time where all of these things are going to be coming in for you. But now you're also dealing, you might be feeling a little upended as you're dealing with some of these more emotional things that are coming up for you, okay? Right here, down with it came the Eight of Swords. So this is a card of someone who, representing someone who is basically bound more or less by their own free will. Regardless of whether or not she put herself into that position, she's surrounded by the tools that could liberate her, right? She's surrounded by a bunch of swords. All she has to do is like back up into one and she could cut her bonds free. And she's not doing that. There's also, you know, like this dried up water, this drying up water on the ground is also speaking to me for you as a water sign, Cancer. These two cards came out together. I really see this as a warning to y'all to not be afraid. And then, you know what, fuck it, Death came out right afterwards in reverse. Let's just read these three together. This is a warning to y'all that whatever things are coming up to be healed right now, you should not be turning away from those things, Cancer. And I also think not only should you not be turning away, but you shouldn't be getting caught up in them, which is something that, you know, generally speaking, y'all are known to do. Y'all are known to get stuck in your feelings, right? I say with love. My father was a Cancer, loved him to death, but he would get in his feelings sometimes, and you kind of just like roll it and be like, Dad, like, get over it, it's fine. Very sweet, but also very, I don't want to say, not negative necessarily. I can't come up with a word right now because my brain is not working at full capacity. But he had a tendency to dwell on things, particularly bad things. So I see all of those three cards coming out as warning to you, you know, Death in particular in reverse. There's some change that's coming probably as a result of the things that you're kind of plunging into in your subconscious right now that you might be resistant to. And you know, the Death card is a card that represents inevitable change. This is a change that is coming regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of how you react to it, regardless if you welcome it with open arms or if you're fighting it, okay? So make it easy on yourself and don't fight it because it's gonna happen no matter what. And all of your struggling against it, all of your resistance to it is only making your quality of life less, while the outcome this change, this inevitable change will be the same, okay? But, you know, that's not all doom and gloom. Out came the Lover's card as well. You know, like I was just saying, with that Saturn transit in your 7th house, you guys might be feeling this a little bit in a particular relationship. And that could be, it doesn't need to be romantic. You know, the Lovers often can represent romance, but it could just be any bond in your life that is really, really deep. It could be a child, it could be a lover, it could be a family member, a mother, a brother, a sister, whatever, a really close friend. So I see that maybe through this relationship, things are coming up for you right now that are calling to be healed and released. And it doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily have to mean that the relationship itself needs to be released. It also doesn't even necessarily mean that the thing that needs to be released is present in this relationship. But there's something about this relationship that calls that thing to mind. So it might be that through a current relationship, you are reliving things from your childhood, or you are rehashing things from your past that you thought you had already let go. And you are now being given this opportunity through this relationship to work through those issues and to let them go. Okay? And then, you know, there's so many more major arcana. I mean, like, I'm saying this very kind of casually, but understand, Cancer, it's very clear by the cards on the table, especially the World coming out with the Wheel of Fortune like this, especially with all the major arcana we have down. This is legit. This is not a drill, okay? Whatever it is that you are dealing with right now, whatever it is that you are processing right now, whatever it is that has arisen from your subconscious to kind of wave at you and say, hey, I need some attention right now, it needs to be dealt with and it needs to be addressed. And it can be. You're in a very great place with this eclipse to be doing that. And if you can do it, I mean, it's just gonna lead you more towards this elevated, integrated being, spiritual and physical, okay? And it's karmic. It is karmic. And that's why I'm saying, like, this is not a drill, Cancer. This is something that is going to change your karma. This is something that you need to address or heal. And if you don't, it's going to keep you stuck in karma's wheels. I talked about this a lot in the Saturn series, because Saturn is such a great teacher of karma. That, again, also makes sense that these two would be down with Saturn in your 7th. If you do not learn and implement the lessons of karma, okay, it will continue to put you through the same, usually not pleasant situations over and over and over again until you make a new choice and learn the lesson. So, you know, this card to me implies not just that what you're going through right now is karmic, it's very much part of your preordained journey, but it also means that, you know, if you're not dealing with it now, the wheel is going to keep turning and it's going to pop right back up with you at a later date and you're going to have to deal with it then. So you might as well deal with it now. You know, again, like I was saying with this Death card in reverse, it's going to be the same outcome regardless of how you feel about it. So don't make it harder on yourself by resisting it. Don't make it harder on yourself by ignoring the lessons that you're being called to learn right now. Go for it. And it's interesting to me these are coming up. I don't mean to be so cautionary because I actually think you are going to deal with it. But these first 3 cards down were a little bit of a warning. So if you're not feeling good about it yet, then, you know, do what you need to do. Meditate. Cancers, I know you love the people in your life. Process, talk with other people, maybe with whomever this person is, okay? But really make sure that you are in a good emotional space to be dealing with this kind of stuff, because you can, like I said, manifestation is so strong for you right now. Y'all can manifest this healing that you may literally have been waiting years and years to manifest. Like, for real. In a real fucking way. Like, life's work. Like, the emotional and spiritual healing that you are calling forth right now is imperative, will be foundational to how you view yourself, how you move through the world, literally for the rest of your life. It's a big freaking deal. February is a big month for you, Cancer. Let's pull a few more. Wow. It's just such a powerful spread having all of these cards down. This is not a game. It just certainly is not a game. Oops. Pretend that didn't happen. I accidentally dropped my deck. It happens sometimes. A highly, highly professional tarot reader who sometimes drops her deck while she's shuffling. I also do kind of have the mild arthritis, so ha! That's my excuse for being unprofessional. Just kidding. I'm just looking and thinking, this one wants to come out. The Ace of Wands in reverse. Okay. All right. I mean, we'll pull another and see if there's any clarifying message for that. But for me, in the context of these other cards, you know, again, this is a card in the upright of there we go, sorry again about the glare, of manifestation. So I think coming down in the reverse like that, it is a warning, like I said, not to block that power right now. Everybody interprets reversals differently. Some people don't even read reverse cards. I actually recently was in a workshop here in New Orleans, and the wonderful woman teaching the workshop, the tarot workshop, said that she actually never reads cards as reversed. She just reads them all within the context of the reading. And I really, really like that. I personally tend to read reversals, not necessarily in the sense that they're the opposite of what their upright position is, but I do think it can be a warning as to what could be blockages for you in manifesting the messages or the lessons of the upright meanings of those cards, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't interpret this as like you are blocked from abundance right now, but I would interpret it as a warning not to be blocked to abundance, not to be closed off, not to be unaware of how easy and accessible your own liberation is, you know, not to resist the changes that are coming, not to try to fight fate or karma, because there's no way you're ever going to win that battle. And if you can lean into this, if you can accept what is happening, if you can really deal with the changes in your mind and in your soul that are happening as a result of you dealing with these old wounds or situations that we're calling to be healed, like, you can have this. This can be upright. I'm gonna pull at least one more. All right, here we go. She came flying out, the High Priestess in reverse. I mean, this is interesting to me too, because this card is all about going behind the veil, right? And that which is unknowable. But having it in the reverse position like that, I feel like it's actually a really good thing. To me, this is showing that you guys are doing like real life work right now. Okay, this isn't like woo, up in the clouds work. Like, you are putting into the material realm that which was previously liminal to you. Okay, that which was previously not totally touchable, that just kind of felt close but not quite within reach. And now that fog, you know, in many ways, this card is a foggy kind of card. It's all about what you can't really see and what you can't really perceive. Coming up in the reverse position like that, I think it's a sign that y'all are really being able to, in a very material, palpable way, reach for that curtain, touch that curtain, and pull it back. Again, I think a wonderful sign. I'm going to try to pull one outcome card for you before I wrap it up. Really powerful stuff, Cancer. I mean, very, very powerful stuff in this reading. Beautiful. Temperance coming out as your final outcome card. What a beautiful representation of where you will be at the end of this entire process. You know, this is a great representation of where you will be if you can keep those sort of mental hang-ups in check, if you can really reach down and now you don't even have to do anything. Shouldn't even say you need to reach down. What you need to do right now is just be receptive and take the steps that will be very personalized to each individual. Take the steps that you personally need in order to be receptive to those changes that are coming. Be like this. Be like this as you approach those changes, and you will come out of those changes in an even more hyperbolic version of this. Like, you will come out feeling so balanced, so calm, so healed. I mean, the Temperance card comes where it lays in the major arcana is after a lot of really crazy cards. And it's sort of like this break. And this is where you're going to be, Cancer. And again, there's just like this beautiful, you know, there's this gleaming beacon of light in the background. There's a lot of water in this card kind of representing you, but certainly representing healing. And that free flow of water is just, I think, a beautiful sign of what your emotional state can be like at the end of this eclipse season. It's interesting to me, nothing here is really coming up around material manifestation necessarily. Although I certainly think, as I said, there's a lot of stuff happening in the sky right now that is conducive to that for y'all. But here I'm seeing a lot of like karmic healing. Again, we have 9 cards down. With the exception of these 2, every single card is a major arcana card. You're on here. Lovers is on here. Death is on here. High Priestess, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune, the World. Like, this is not a joke. And here at the bottom of the deck, and this is really funny because it was at the bottom of the deck when I just was doing the review before we pulled those last 3 cards, is the 7 of Pentacles. So this is obviously wanting to be seen by you. Look, this is a dude who's reaped the rewards of his labor. Very easy card to interpret, okay? So this is someone who, I mean, this is you. Like, this dude is looking, like this reading, he's looking at this reading kind of like, yeah, I did that. So much, you know, what that specific thing is for you, Cancer, obviously will vary by individual, but whatever it is that is coming up right now, whether it's a relationship you need to heal and let go, whether it's childhood trauma that you need to heal and let go, whatever a loss, whatever it is, it doesn't even need to necessarily be that heavy, okay? But there is something that is being called to the forefront of your consciousness that is asking to be healed. And if you heal it, it will leave you in a very beautiful place. And it will leave you on the next step of your karmic journey to this. A great reading, honestly, you guys. This is such a wonderful, powerful reading. I think y'all are in a great place. Intense spiritual manifestation for y'all right now. Don't waste it. You've got the power right now, Cancer. Do not waste it. Take advantage of it and manifest and heal. Wonderful stuff. All right, I'm glad I did this reading, even though I wasn't feeling well, and I'm sorry I accidentally threw my deck of cards, but you couldn't see it, so it doesn't really matter. Thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. All support is appreciated. There's information in the description box if you're interested in a private reading. Till next time, bye, Cancer.